When Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia held its first annual general meeting, they were the newest party to join Pakatan Harapan's fight to conquer Putrajaya in the 14th general election. However, by the time Bersatu held its second annual general meeting at the end of 2018, they've helped strengthen the Pakatan Harapan coalition to capture Putrajaya and have cemented themselves as one of the nation's most influential political parties, having put Dr Mahathir Mohamad back in the seat of power, a seat he previously held for 22 years with Umno, the party they crushed on May 9th. On this episode of Quickiepedia, we take a look at Bersatu's meteoric rise to power, dissect its Umno-DNA and study the similarities and differences between the two parties. We'll start by looking at the mission and vision of the two parties. There are 13 principles or prinsip perjuangan written on Bersatu's website. The first 3 are almost the same as those found in Umno. This is what Bersatu says: uphold Islam as the religion of the Federation while respecting the freedom of non-Muslims to practice their faith in peace and harmony, to defend the special status of the Malays and Bumiputra of Sabah and Sarawak with basic rights for all races, to strengthen the Malay language as the national language and defend the right of every race to learn their mother tongue. Now, when we take a look at UMNO's party constitution, some of these may sound familiar. Uphold, defend and develop Islam as the national religion while respecting freedom of religion. Defend the power of the people and social justice through parliamentary democracy while advancing the economies of especially the Malays and Bumiputra and the people of Malaysia. Ensure the special status of the Malay language as the national language and Malay culture as the national culture. Foster cooperation between races to cultivate a strong Bangsa Malaysia based on basic human rights and the special rights of the Malays and Bumiputras. Other than their objectives, Bersatu and UMNO are also very similar in terms of their membership. While UMNO only accepts the Malays and Bumiputras as their members, Bersatu's membership is open to all Malaysians. However, only the Bumiputras can take part in the party election and be appointed to party positions. Since its establishment, Bersatu has been dubbed UMNO 2.0, a moniker that isn't completely unjustified. A simple glance at the party's leadership reveals many familiar faces, many of whom were previously top leaders of UMNO. Their current chairperson, Dr Mahathir Mohamad, the party president, Muhyiddin Yassin, and deputy president, Mukhris Mahathir, used to be national and state-level UMNO leaders, respectively. On top of that, the party vice president, Abdul Rashid Ansari, Women's Chief Rina Harun and Information Chief Muhammad Radzi were previously attached to UMNO for 15 to 30 years. The exodus of UMNO members to join Bersatu became more evident after the 14th general elections. Within a week after the May 9 polls, 4 UMNO state assembly persons jumped over to Bersatu. They were Alwia Talib of Endau, Rasman Naim of Sendili, Roslaili Johari from Johor Lama and Zainul Fadzi from Sungai Manik. However, the most severe bleeding came from UMNO's parliamentary members. Despite their defeat and loss of federal power, they still amassed 54 seats in GE14, maintaining their status as the party with the most members in Dewan Rakyat. This all changed in the short span of just 6 months. 16 of their parliamentarians left the party. Among them, 3 joined Bersatu, 1 joined Warisan. The remaining 12 MPs have remained independent for the time being. At the time of recording, UMNO is down to 38 seats, putting the party behind PKR and DAP as the 3rd largest party in Dewan Rakyat. The bleeding is still far from over, as it's reported that 33 out of the 38 of the remaining MPs are believed to have signed an agreement to support Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad's leadership. The reality of the situation is that since its establishment, Bersatu has tried to, on one hand, absorb scores of UMNO members, while on the other hand, they have tried to close ranks with civil society movements and their comrades in Pakatan Harapan. Bersatu made it a priority to win the hearts of voters in the Malay heartland, who were concerned with losing their special rights and privileges while garnering the support of urban voters who yearn for institutional reforms. Without a doubt, Mahathir was a big attraction for the rural Malay voters in GE14. That's why, despite being the 2nd smallest party in the PH coalition with just 13 seats, they still hold 6 cabinet positions, making them the most overrepresented party in the federal cabinet. The question now is that with so many familiar faces that used to be from UMNO now representing Bersatu, have they really become UMNO 2.0? The answer is no. We are yet to see Pakatan Harapan devolve into a corrupt entity. At the moment, none of its member parties appear to be overly dominant, unlike how UMNO always stood at the top of Barisan Nasional. However, their work is far from done. Bersatu still needs to work towards proving themselves to be better than the party they splintered from. More political will for reform needs to be seen, and more political wisdom needs to be applied to deal with the rising pressure from right-wing nationalists and religious conservatives.